My name is Tamara, and this is episode 36 of the Caffeinated Craft Mamas podcast. My podcast all about my knitting, crocheting, and bookish life in Southwest Missouri, where I live with my partner Richard, our 3 kids, and our dog. It has been 2 weeks. Today is Friday, April 19th. I was supposed to record last night, but I fell asleep snuggling with William when it was bedtime and woke up 10 minutes before Richard was supposed to be home. So we are recording today. Hopefully I will get this uploaded to you guys later this afternoon to keep up my every 2-week schedule. All right, I have 2 finished objects to talk about. I have a half object to talk about. I have some whips to talk about, a book, and some life and junk. So we're gonna go ahead and get started because Grace is napping in the next room over. Hopefully we can get this done before she wakes up. So if you would like to follow me on social media, please feel free to do so. I'm really only active over on Instagram. You can find me over there as the caffeinated_craft_mama. I post over there 1 to 2 times a week, just when I'm busy doing something. I've been trying to post some more stories too. And then you can also, of course, like and subscribe the video here. I would love to have you guys follow along. And when I get to 200 subscribers, I'm going to do a fun giveaway. Okay, so let's get started with, actually we'll do a quick what am I wearing. I'm wearing my Clearly hoodie by Elizabeth Margaret Knits. I had to think about that for a second. This is a test knit I did like 2 years ago. It is my most worn hoodie, garment, sweater, anything. I constantly have this thing on. I have plans to knit another one, but it's a bottom-up construction, and that is not my favorite thing to knit, so I have been putting it off. But eventually that will be on the needles. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with some FOs. One of them technically isn't an FO, so we'll start with that. I did finish Aragorn. So here's the Aragorn block. This is the Lord of the Rings blanket pattern by Lucinda of Swish_and_stitch on Instagram. And this is block number 5 of 9. So I'm almost there, guys. I think I was about right here when you guys saw it last. Giving myself the freedom to only do 1 row a day really helped me. I didn't have to constantly think, oh my goodness, I have 5 rows to do. It was, okay, pick it up, do 1 row. And usually if I did 1, I would do 2 or 3 more. So I was able to get through this block in 2 weeks. And I already have the second block, listen to me, the 6th block cast on. So that's exciting too. We'll talk about that in whips. Excuse me. I am exhausted today, but we're here. All right. My second finished object is a pair of socks. Shockingly enough, this is only my 2nd pair of socks for the entire year. The yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners, and the colorway Peacock. These are a pair of socks for Richard. They'll go in his birthday gift. I'm going to hide them in my gift box. I have a box that everybody knows not to get into that's full of stuff that I buy throughout the year for my kids for Christmas presents or birthday presents, Richard, my parents, everybody. So I will toss those in the gift box and they will be hidden until his birthday in July. And I already have another pair of socks cast on for him. So that's good too, even though I have just a tiny little toe. Those are my finished objects. So we'll go ahead and start with whips. We'll do my half object first. This one, I do not have a second one cast on yet, and I've already figured out, here, I'll just show you. I did finish a Christmas sock. So I was right here where the penguin is last time you guys saw this. So I finished the leg and the cuff and bound off. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. This is Cascade Heritage Prince. I'm not sure the colorway. I'm pretty sure it's a number. But I knit 6 pairs of Christmas socks a year, so I thought I'd get them started early. This is the first. I have figured out already that these will be sisters, not twins, because the repeat is so long, for me to wind to get to the repeat again, to where the repeat starts, I would be missing out on a lot of the ball. I have two of these 100 gram skeins, and I was hoping to get at least 3 to 4 pairs of socks out of these. One of them at least will be shorties, so we'll see. And I have not cast on the second sock for that yet. That is my plan this afternoon. And it is living in my Ginger Snap Fibers Snowman Christmas bag. Because if you're knitting Christmas socks even in April, you are allowed to have out your Christmas bags. So there's that. Okay. Next up, we'll continue on the sock theme. I got Richard's socks started. His socks just live in my purse and are my on-the-go knitting if I'm going anywhere or doing anything. And they are living in my Lila Styles Lord of the Rings bag. This is one of my favorite bags. And I am knitting him a pair of socks out of Arcade Afternoon. This is a Felici that I had in stash. Not sure how close that is. And I have a little bitty toe done, and that's it. With my, this is a T-Rex stitch marker from Twin Mountain Handcrafts. There's my little bitty toe. Oh, I guess I forgot to say, the Christmas socks are knit on size 0s, so I went up to 64 stitches for the body on those. These are knit on size 1, so I will go up to 60 stitches for him. These will probably be longer socks. I'll have to ask him and see if he wants longer socks or not. Sometimes he likes the long socks and sometimes he doesn't, so see what he's in the mood for. So there's those. Okay, I have one more pair. Oh, here we go. This is a quart of socks. Yarn is by Desert Vista Dye Works. And these are on 9-inch circulars that I'm borrowing from Amber because she's awesome and letting me borrow them. So the reason I am borrowing them is because I found this really amazing bat sock pattern and I really, really want to knit it. And I do not like knitting color work and magic loop. I always end up with the ladder, and no matter how hard I try, I can never get it to block out completely. And I really want to knit those socks, so I'm trying to practice on 9-inch circulars. So here is my sock so far. It was where the bat marker is, because that's, you know, relevant, when you guys saw it last. And it has my All About That Wings band stitch marker. So I will move this stitch marker up. This actually is a stitch marker set, I believe, from Fangirl Fibers a long, long time ago. So I will put that up here. I am getting better at the 9-inch circulars. They don't hurt my hands as bad. I'm able to do at least one stripe every time I pick these up. I only got like one round done yesterday because I went on a field trip with my mom's kindergarten class to the local aquarium, and the only time I got to sit down and knit was when we were at lunch. And so the kids were all fascinated watching Miss Melton sit there and knit for a minute. So yeah, and I am reordering the stripes so that they are in the correct book order, because yes, it was going to bother me. I had someone else reach out to me and tell me that they were doing the same thing. So it made me feel a little better to know that I wasn't the only one that was doing that. And I'm actually almost to the point where I need to reorder the stripes again. So yeah, there's those. And this is what the skein looks like. I know some people like to see, or the cake looks like. So we're getting there on those. But I do think I'm going to order, those are US zeros on the 9-inch circulars. I do think I'm going to order myself probably a size 1 or a size 2, because those bat socks are going to take some more finagling. I'll put a picture in right here of what they actually look like. I ordered some yarn from Kimber's Cozy Creations last year to make these socks, and I got a lime green, or like acid green almost, and a purple. And so I'm thinking I will do purple as the background and acid green as the bats. I don't know, we may do it the other way around. We'll see. I'm gonna play with it and decide what I wanna do. So there's those. Okay. My last, nope, I did. My next whip is in my R2D2 bag that I made. More about bags in a little bit. This is my Ahsoka shawl. The pattern is by Lesley and Robinson, who is Knit Graffiti and who is amazing. So this is side 1, and I have gotten about half of a brioche repeat done. Uh-oh, there's Grace. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's actually several hours since I began the podcast. Grace woke up from her nap and did not go back to sleep, so I had to wait until she left to pick back up. I was talking about my Ahsoka shawl though, I remember, because I left it out. So, I'm not sure what all I've said. This pattern is by Knit Graffiti, Lesley and Robinson, and I dyed the yarn myself. And I am on the second brioche section on this one. I'm about halfway through. Yay me, go brioche. So I will move that marker up. Whoops, maybe. There we go. I'm trying to get better with these progress keepers so y'all can see what I've done and so I can see what I've done. And then I got this garter section done. So yeah. Next up will be brioche section for this one, and this one will be a lace motif. So I'm pretty excited about both of those. We've talked about this before. I love this pattern, but it's going pretty slow because this is a pattern I really have to sit down and think about, and I can't just do like while my kids are awake or anything. I really have to sit and focus on what I'm doing. So it will be done when it's done. All right, close that up. Put that over here. My last whip is, I guess I have 2. I finished Aragorn, so I cast on Gimli. And I have 4 whole rows done, guys. So it'll actually be like this. This is the shoulder of his shirt. So I'll pop a marker in there. I really need a hobbit hole progress keeper. I'm finding that is a thing I need in my life. But for now, we'll do the little pumpkin house and it will be fine. So yeah, hopefully in 2 weeks, I will have a finished Gimli block to show you guys. After Gimli, I have Legolas, I have Merry, and I have Pippin left. And then the blanket will be done. The box will be done. I'll have to sew around the edges and put it all together, but that won't take me very long. So, yep, there we are. All right, and this is living in my giant knitting backpack. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. I got it off Amazon. It's holding like 6 skeins of yarn right now, plus some. I really like it. Okay, so there's that. All right, next up is actually 2, I guess this is kind of a finished object. It's a sewing finished object. So Amber of Ambi Marie Knits, you guys know I talk about her all the time, sent me a link to a project bag tutorial. I feel like my hair is doing something weird. A project bag tutorial where you used 4 granny squares to make a giant project bag. And she made one that had gerbils on it. It was super cute. So I had some minis, so I made this. The only modification I made to the pattern, actually on Amber's recommendation, was I made a handle. I made this one, and then I'll pop a photo in of the other one I made. It's a Beauty and the Beast bag. So, yep, Jack and Sally. This is housing my corner to corner scrappy blanket. It is the Crocheted Memories blanket by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. And I haven't talked about this blanket in a while, but I have had a little bit of work on it, so I wanted to show it to you guys. And I'm in the middle of a block. Big shocker there. So I did this one, since you guys have seen it last. and this one, and this one, and this one down here. And I think that's it. So I've gotten a couple done. So I'll pop those markers off there and work on it some more. I'm hoping to make Scrappy Sunday more of a thing. I have been participating in the lives that Andy of the Naughty Nitrous does, or not lives, Zoom calls that Andy of the Naughty Nitrous does on Sunday afternoons. And I have had so much fun and enjoy talking to those women and hanging out with them and doing crafty things with them. My queue on Ravelry has grown substantially since I've started hanging out with them, so that's fun. And I will typically get 1 to 2 squares put in on there. I was working on the Aragorn block when I would talk to them, but I ended up messing up because I was having to count too much and I was trying to pay attention and, you know, all that stuff. So I ended up not being able to continue crocheting on that while we're on the call. So I'll probably start working on that blanket. Because when I moved it from its bag it was in to the bag it's now in, I had a crazy mass of knots, so I had to untangle all those. And then it just really made me want to work on the blanket again and use up all those minis. And then I think I'm going to steal a idea from Nicole of Nitty Witch and Mama. I'll put it right here. I never can get her name 100% correct. She is doing just like a giant grandma's favorite dishcloth, but with scraps. So I think I'm going to do a magic knot ball, but I'm also going to hold, I've got some like gray fingering, like stroll that I'm going to hold with the magic knot ball. That way if a knot comes undone, I don't have a giant hole in my blanket. I'm also planning on fray checking all of those knots because I don't trust my magic knot method very well. So we'll see how that goes. But that's for a later date, and we'll probably be living in that Beauty and the Beast bag. I can't decide. I may give the Beauty and the Beast bag to my mom. I haven't decided yet. So yeah, that is all of my whips. So I have a little bit of acquisitions to talk about, one of which I will have to pop up here. I did get the yarn from Kim, goodness guys, of Kimber's Cozy Creations. I purchased a little bit of yarn in the sale she had recently so she could get her car fixed, and I am planning on taking that yarn plus one more I have coming in the mail and a red and black yarn that I have in stash and making a V-back tee with those. So I'm excited to get that cast on and started. And then I have some acquisitions from Amber. So Amber has an Etsy shop, and she made me this cute little bag. She was trying it out. This whole bag is one fat quarter, which is awesome. And this is like, I think it's going to be the thing that I use for my house sock. So I have a purse sock that goes around in my purse. I have a house sock that I keep and I only knit on at home. And so this will probably be where my house sock lives, because I could get a little 50-gram cake of yarn and needles and a few notions and be able to carry this from room to room. And it's just a cute little bag. And then, because Amber is all things awesome, and because she accidentally got a little bit of the selvage edge of one of her bags, I got one of her spring but Halloween-y bags. I don't know what she actually called it, but I just love this bag. I love this fabric. I can't wait to put a sock in here and get started with it. So she gave me the bag sewing bug, and I have plans for several bags. I'll pop some photos in here of the fabrics that I have purchased and some that I have in stash. And I think I'm just going to throw an Etsy shop up there and see what happens. If they end up not selling, I'll use them for giveaways on the podcast, or I will send them to friends. But I got some really cool dragon fabric. I got some really cute bookworm fabric. I had some coffee fabric already. And then I have a bunch of the Beauty and the Beast fabric left over. So I will have several bags to sell. And I also have like 2 or 3 yards of Christmas fabric already. So I think over the summer, I'm going to make a goal to make, you know, a couple bags a week and store them up, and then be able to have bags for the fall and bags for Christmas already. So we'll see what happens. But that's all of the yarny content that I have to talk about. So if that's all you're here for, I will see you later. I do have one book to talk about, and then I have Life and Junk, which is basically just what I've been up to for the last 2 weeks. Okay, so I have only got one book to talk about. I finished book 5 of the Other series by Heather G. Harris. It is Challenge of the Court. I'm really enjoying this book series. I'm listening to them on Hoopla, but you can also get them on Kindle Unlimited. They are written by a British author, so there are a few things that I've had to look up on occasion, and I just have really enjoyed them. They're fun, kind of urban fantasy, mystery, tiny bit of romance, but not a ton type of thing. And they're really good. So I have 2 books left in this series, and then I'll start the next series. And she actually has a 3rd series that is all in this same universe, and the 3rd series she is still in the process of writing. So I'm gonna probably try to slow down on those a little bit, and then I have plans to try to finish 40 Proof pretty soon too. So those are all my books that I've talked about, or I have to talk about. And let's see. So I got to do the eclipse or see the eclipse. We were at like 98.2% totality, so it got dark here and everything. My kids got to do stuff at school, but Amber came over and we got to watch the eclipse. She had some eclipse glasses. I had lawn chairs that we can lay back and like look up, and we knit and looked at the eclipse, and it was a lot of fun. And then what else? Yesterday, the reason I'm so tired is yesterday I went with my mom to the local aquarium with her kindergarten class. Guys, I did not realize, I mean, we only walked like 2 miles, and I walk longer than that on a daily basis, but my goodness, trying to keep track of 7 kindergartners was in a interactive environment was a lot, especially since their parents were there, so they kept trying to go off with their parents different places, and I kept counting to make sure I had all my 7 little ducks in a row is what I called them. But we had so much fun, and they learned a lot, and the aquarium was really cool, and Mom and I got to hang out together, and it was a neat experience, and I'm really glad I got to go. Because next year, with me being back in the classroom, unless I take a personal day, that won't be something that I will be able to do with her. So it was really fun to get to do. And honestly, if I'm going to take a personal day for a field trip, it will probably be William's field trips. Just because I want to get to go on those. I got to go to a few of Jade's, so I'd like to be able to go to a few of William's too. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. I'm kind of wiggly because I'm on the floor. As you can see, I'm in front of my yarn shelf. And yeah, so I'm gonna clean up from this, and then I got the bright idea to start the Couch to 5K app again. I don't particularly enjoy running, but I enjoy the feelings I get after I have run, if that makes sense. And I have just had a lot going on. I know the summer is going to be stressful. Good stress and bad stress. We're just going to be busy. The kids are going to be home. They're going to want to be going places, doing things. So I am starting the Couch to 5K app before they finish school for my mental health. So I am going to go run, and then I am going to pick my kids up off the bus and hopefully get this edited and up to you guys tomorrow morning for Saturday. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe, and that you are enjoying a beautiful spring, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.